Hello and welcome back, Legionaries. MarZhill Magnus here, bringing you some gameplay of a new upcoming city builder called Citadelum. It's really good. It's reminiscent and kind of like a spiritual successor of Caesar 3, and games like that. Kind of reminds me of Pharaoh, Caesar 3, and games that kind of like have that isometric kind of like view to the city building kind of like aspect. But this game, oh, that was my fan just dropping on the floor, sorry. Yeah, this game is due to come out at some point this year. It will be a full release, it's not early access. And what I'll be doing in this video is taking you through the first couple of missions associated with the demo that is currently available on Steam. So this is the first mission of the demo. You literally start the demo and it takes you directly into the game. And just setting the scene. So Perusia, 40 BC, a period of civil war, is sparked by the assassination of Ilius Caesar. I actually think that's meant to say Julius Caesar. On the Ides of March 44 BC, at the hands of a group of senators, Gaius Octavius, Caesar's adopted son, returns to Rome to take revenge on the aggressors and confronts Lucius Antonius, brother of Marcus Antonius, or Mark Antony, in the city of Perusia. After besieging the city, he orders it to be destroyed in retaliation against the traitors. It's your mission to move there together with a group of colonists and start construction of a new city under the name of Augusta Perusia. So the objectives here, you have to reach population of 35 plebeians, create a trade route with the city of Vetona, and send 75, I assume this is marble, to Rome. So we're not even going to look at the camera, or, you know, the tutorial, because I've played the demo quite a few times. But effectively, you start off with choosing where you want your city gates to be. And I'm just thinking, just looking at the mini map in the bottom left, you can see where iron is. If I go click over here, here's an iron deposit. Over here, we have some stone deposit. And I'm going to try and find somewhere that's actually maybe got like 2 or 3 stone deposits like clumped together. And we have 3 here. So lots of wood, plenty of stone. City can go over here. In there, because this is non-fertile land, so I can use that specifically for building a city around it. And I think that we can utilize this as stone. We can do... Where's a good clump of wood? This can also be wood collection points over here. So this will be the front of our city, but it'll be industry. So I'm going to go ahead and plant or place our city gates just here. And I'm going to do a road that takes us up to here and then cuts in to there. Now, there are a number of things that you need to have in place for your plebs and your patricians. So there are 3 population types in this game. You've got your plebeians, your patricians, and your military. So plebs are your workforce. Patricians are the people you want to provide goods and services to, but you tax them, you get denarii. Or is it, yeah, it's a denarii or sesterces, whatever the currency is in this game. I think it's just called treasury. And then you have your military population, which are all your military units that you can create armies and go and conquer other settlements and fight barbarians and all kinds of things. So what we're going to do, actually, we're going to go and establish our economy. I'm going to do 2 of each type. So we're just going to do 1, okay? And the reason for that, we'll just do 1 at a time and then we'll expand later because it does cost resources. But I've got to keep it fairly compact because I only want to have to build 1 of each kind of supporting building. Those being an engineer's post and a fire station, because these guys make sure everything is working order. And I think I'm just going to place these on the edge so that I can then build some other bits over this side if I need to. So that was our engineer's post. And then we also need a... Where was it? We need a fire station. And I'm not going... Fire stations actually need water. And there's 2 ways you can provide water. Either a well or a giant reservoir. So I'm going to go with a well for now. And I'm just going to connect this to the road system. So this is all fully connected. So we have wood, stone, and fire protection and maintenance, which is everything this area needs. And then over here, I'm going to start actually planning out where I'm going to have our buildings for our plebs and everything else. So I'm going to go ahead and place a reservoir just here. and I'm going to give it some water access by going like this and then up to there. And then you also need to build a water mill, which will start funneling water in, and instantaneously then we have a full reservoir that covers that huge area. And this could be where we have maybe farmland on this side over here. Okay, and then on this side will be basically our city. Okay, so what we do need within here, I'm actually going to just place some roads around the edges so as I know where I'm going to be planning. And we'll go straight up as well from here. Okay, and then I'm just trying to see how I can not necessarily make this fully automized, that's not even a word. But it would ideally have to be there. Yeah, okay. Okay. Let's just see how this works. Do that there. Just build it around. I like placing roads around our reservoirs like so. You know what? I'm going to do this actually. There we are. And we'll move. The nice little function, you have the ability to move. Yeah, that's perfect. And I'll have it side on. And this is effectively going to be the entrance into our lovely kind of like zone for all of our plebs. Okay, so this marketplace can employ 8 people. So I've kind of taken that meaning, okay, well, if it can employ 8 people, then maybe it can only handle 8 houses, because these do upgrade over time and their demands increase and you have to supply them with more and more goods. And with 8, I think that it's a 1-to-1 ratio between workers and houses. But later on, you may need like 2 or 3 to accommodate for all of those. It might be 1 person to maybe every 10 population, that kind of thing. Because these plebeian housing, they start off with 5 citizens, but when you get to level 6, they can have 20 in. So, the way I'm going to do this, I think, I'm going to start with 4. Ooh, that's interesting. No, that's fine. That's fine, because there's got to be a road there. That's fine. That's okay. We can actually mirror that if we want to, so it'll be like that. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so that's our 4 houses. We'll put some roads into them. And then this is all fully connected. But then we also need to think about, again, just put this on pause. I need to think about these. So that will cover everything. And this will cover everything. And I might move this one up to there. And then I can actually build a road around it. So it's actually has easy pathways to lots of different areas if need be. And what I mean by that, do a road this way, road that way, and road that way. A nice little quadrant area. Within each of these, we'll have houses. I'll start off plebs on this side, and then maybe we'll put some patricians over here, or make this completely a patrician area over here. Because we also have different buildings that we need to think about placing as we go on. Let me just put this at 2 times speed. And I'll start employing the plebs that have already started moving in. We only have 1 at the moment. Yep, there's the only chap in the whole city. There's number 2. That's 2. And then we're going to get this all up and running as well. But we need to think about food next. But this is supplied with water. This is all supplied with water too. So let's get all these hired in. Only doing 1 for the time being for each of these. But we'll have our stone and wood trickling in. And we'll actually put these up to 2 on each. And when you hover over these, it tells you how many resources you are getting a day, and then here's your day counter over here, which just, if I put it on 3 times speed, it actually takes some time to like go from day to day, but it's saying over the period of a day, you will be getting up to 60 resources from that building. Right, so we've hit our pleb amount of 20 out of 20. This means we can now build patrician housing, tax office, baths, tavern, grape orchard, cabbage orchard, sawmill, stone cutter, winery, and trees. Trees and some other elements of improving the desirability of your areas, which is really important in this. So it's not just placing down a huge amount of buildings or housing. You've got to think about, okay, well, where can I place all the desirability elements that are going to improve the attractiveness of an area, and then bring in new plebs to live in those areas and also upgrade those buildings. So the reason is actually got this prestige kind of mechanic in game, and when you hit certain levels of population, you start unlocking the next prestige level. The demo at the moment only allows you to go up to prestige level 4, but that is plenty. You've got so much to do and build up to that level. And then you have people's favor, which is the number of unemployed citizens, homeless citizens, housing needs, health, workers' wages, etc. But now that we still have plenty of stone and wood, so I'm actually going to go straight ahead. We're going to get a sawmill and a stone cutter up and running, and just employ one person in each of these as well. Just start slowly trickling in the planks that we need in order to build the next level of service buildings, being a bath and a tavern later on. Tavern actually doesn't take that, but I can actually probably think about placing this now. I'm just going to do it there. Actually, that's actually a huge area. I wish you could zoom. So this is one little thing that I've got some feedback. I wish you could zoom out more so you could see how much of the area is this touching. I'm thinking maybe that should be fine there. So this is gonna have to be a full pleb quarter. And the reason I say that is because plebs are the only ones who use the tavern. That is huge. So maybe we can even think about another market here, but we need to think about farming. And I might just do it off here, actually. So we need food. So I'm going to just do this. And what we need for farms, again, I'm going to have to build those service buildings, being the fire station. Oof. Which could be here. And the maintenance building, which can go here. Put one person in each of these. And from here, road down. Oh, not all the way down to there, because this is just farmland within the city walls. We'll use this. This will need water. So there's our... Yep, they've both got populations in. Right, so farms... you kind of have to work out the ratios of what you need for these over time, okay? And the reason why I say that is because it's not an exact science, or rather, it's going to be a huge amount of trial error to find out exactly what you need to... what's the word? How many granaries you need to, like, a fully operating set of fields. Okay? The reason I say that is because... I think this could be optimized a bit better in the balancing. But essentially with 2 workers are all you need for a single wheat field, which is fully employed. So that kind of works out that each worker is able to pick up 20 goods at a time. And this fully employed one, if I go at this 400 a day, I think just with the 2, and this will just help with expansion later on. But... what I might do, actually, just to make this a bit more symmetrical. Right, so we're just going to get our wheat production up and running for the future. And we'll build a road around just over to the side there. Because what I'm going to do now, and what you can do, is actually really manage what is put into your building. So these 2 are going to be purely for grain production. Okay? But I'm not going to put anyone in them just yet. So this is all our grain. We need grain for things like feeding cattle, feeding chickens to produce eggs, cattle for milk, and also for making bread for the masses. So let me just put this in a little bit further, and we should start getting some grain in. And once we have the grain, we'll basically satisfy the need for consuming wheat, which is 15 a day. So this is 30, that's 60 in total. And you can see that here. So we're consuming 60 a day, but we're producing 340 just with the 2 plebs on that one farm. 4 plebs on one farm. And what we're also going to start looking at is actually getting some onions, because I already know that the next tier for our pleb houses is going to be onions. And we're also going to look at getting some cabbages as well. And I'll go ahead and build another granary, which will satisfy those needs as well. We'll get this working. Forgot to put someone in the market to start distributing that grain we just got, or producing. And I'm going to go and build another granary just here. But this is only going to take cabbages and onions. Okay. And I'll build a road round for the 2 extra farms that we can slot in for the future, which will be onions, cabbages. Okay, and eventually this will just be full onion plot. Actually, I could just expand this out so as we don't have to worry about that too much. But one there, one there, one there. Just trying to see how this works. So 3, 3. Yeah, that's fine. We'll get our onions and cabbages in. Right, now we need to think about desirability. Okay, so what we do have some gardens, and we can just plop those to the rear of these houses. And what you'll see by doing that, once we get some food in, so some grain is coming in here, that should upgrade very soon to level 2. Or so we hope. Oh, it needs 10%. Okay, so I need something else. Maybe some trees. Yeah, I could do that. So trees. Here we go. 2 and 1, 2. And that pushes it up to 15%, 17%. I think one thing that they should be able to do is give you an overlay of like desirability to see where the higher concentration of desirability is. And by when you hover an item that you're looking to build that provides desirability, like how much is it going to affect that area? We now have got up to level 2 on these 2 plebeian housing. They now take 7 each. It's a population increase of 2, so now I have 8 additional workers, which is great. And now we can think about getting some onions as well. So I'll put one in there, put one in here, and get this one here on that one too. So we're going to have some onions coming in, and we can start about thinking about building some more pleb housing, which we could put one there. Actually, that would be perfect. So if I place it here, I can then place this item, Doctor's Office, will slide into here very nicely, which is perfect. That's good. Level 6%, 13%. Why is that so much more? Is it because this is slightly closer to farmland? Is that why it's got some desirability? So certain buildings, when you look at them, lower zone desirability, but you just don't know how big this zone is compared to this. Which a little bit annoying. Okay, so that's good. Now we need to think about our patricians, okay? And our patricians are going to have a lovely time over here. Let's keep it on 1 speed. This should be our patrician area. Okay. Like that. And patricians, we got cabbages already for them, so that's good. But what we need to think about is, again, we need a market for these guys. There. Fine, and do this. And we're going to have to build these 2 as well. And I'll probably put them over here. And these two being another engineer's post, which can sit quite nicely just there. And then also another fire post just... I think that should be fine there. Get some people inside here. And then we'll start building the patrician housing, which I'm going to do like so. I think that should be fine there. Get them nicely taxed shortly, but what we need for that is a bit more stone, so I'm going to employ a few more people on our stone cutters just to get that in. I might actually build another stone cutters building, if I can remember where it is, which is this. Just to get that ball rolling. And we've already got our first fire. Ironically, it's on the engineering post. So what do we need to do next? Okay, so we've almost got enough plebs. We need to think about creating a trade route with Vertona. We are now supplying our patricians with their wonderful cabbages. And are we able to build ourselves a tax office? Not yet. Just need a little bit more stone. I'm thinking the tax office could probably sit nicely over here or here. Or that's actually perfect. We're going to get a lot of tax out of here, so that's fine. And we'll build some more patrician houses too. Do one there. We're actually going to tighten this up, actually, just so as it's mirrored like this. And we'll build a road down here and across there. Also do that. Just keeping it a little bit symmetrical, which is fine. Looks good. And there we go. We've gone up to prestige number 3. Pleb count is 41 out of 40. Patricians are good. And now we have ourselves a doctor's office, carrot orchards, melons, medicinal herbs. We have now our bread and eggs. We now have topiary arch and hedges. All the wonderful good temples, which is another aspect of the game that we'll talk about. Because you do have gods that you can summon in, and they can give you buffs against your buildings, armies, God knows what else. Haven't really got to the stage where I'll be using these a lot. It is a demo, so I can't really show off too much of that at the moment. But we are going to get our patricians in. We're going to start employing one of these. These guys actually generate a shed ton of money. Okay, so you don't need many of them, particularly as they upgrade. And that is one thing that I need to think about doing right now. And I have an idea of how to make this look quite nice as a way into the patrician area, like that, and that should give 71%, 70% attraction just by building a hedge across like that. So there's a little bit of natural separation there, which is quite cool. And we'll up this up as well, just so there's a few more people running around. But I do need to think about upping the ante on bringing in some more onions and cabbages. Another thing which I might do here now, I'm actually going to turn this into our, this is going to be our carrot area, early carrot area. There we go. And these guys just going to take carrots. And I'm building for the future, because you will need to have these all fully employed at some point. Let me just see, is this all covered? I might have to move it. Just to here. Just to cover everything. So yeah, our industry area at the front of our city is looking quite good. Have either of these upgraded? They should be upgrading soon. Be curious when they do. What are they waiting on? Let's get the cabbage coming in. Well, for some reason... Oh, there we go. We got it. So it doubles. The Patrician ones double. You can see the amount of gold or sesterces, denarii that we're bringing in now. Patricians bring in a ton. Each individual person, I haven't worked out yet, but they bring in a lot of money when they're taxed. And I think it's one tax office person to every 5 Patrician houses. I'll have to work it out. But we're going to go ahead and build a couple more here. Just thinking where I'm going to build them. I think that could fit there. That could build there too. We'll just see. I might actually just employ 2 shortly. What are we missing over here? So, grain. We need another person working in this. So we will get someone working in there. Actually, I'll turn this down. I'll turn this up. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, now we can support a few more, I think, with the amount of population that's coming in. That is not good. That's taking a long time. We can actually lower down the cabbage. We don't need so many cabbages being made. That's fine. So if we look at this, the next thing is the Roman baths. Oh my goodness, that's not good. Let's just rebuild that. Yeah, we're going to rotate that because it just makes it harder to supply. So if you keep eye, you can see where it has to travel. Before I had to go round to the corner. So, and also for firemen, they would go to the front door. So you want the front doors as close to your buildings as possible, where they have to walk to. See where this is being supplied and so on and so forth. But the next thing we're going to build is a Roman bath. Do we have enough for it? Yes, we do. And it covers a huge area, actually. And I'm going to plop it next to our tavern. Just there. And I'm actually going to build... That should be fine, actually. That should keep all of these guys happy. They just need carrots now. So if we go to our... If you click on this symbol here, this is your management bit. You can review your economy, jobs, resources, trade, your legions, your religion. I think there's a bit of a bug in the demo because I played it all the way through to when the game eventually crashed in Mission 2. And I started building some temples. It seems that Ceres is pleased with the temple I built through my last playthrough, and Mars is upset because I never built him a temple. But you can actually call on her now, and that'll bring a god down. I might demonstrate that in a second, but we do need more carrots first. So I'm just going to whack that up. Because our carrots are much needed. But aside from that... I think these houses will upgrade soon. It's just the desirability that we need to work on. So what we can play with now... There. I think that's right. Either way. And these are up to, yep, level 2. This has gone up. This one here is now level 3. And you can see the actual look of the building is changing ever so slightly compared to the level 1s, level 2s. And these do become very grand in the future. Why do I have no one there? Let me just get 2 people in there. And the next thing that I'm going to just build, because I can... Oop, I need a bit more stone for that. So I'm actually going to employ a couple more people on the stone cutting. Let's have a look what's in demand under resources. So if I filter through our balance, we need melons, we need more cabbages, and we need bread. So we're going to start a melon patch soon, probably over here. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now. So this is going to be for melons. And I'll just start off with a single melon farm. Yeah. Do it there. And we'll turn all of that off. Put on our melons. And what was that else which was in demand? I needed... That's 60. They need 80. So we'll get that up to 2. So 120 a day. And then a few more cabbages. There we go. So it's just bread that we need to work on. But we'll do that next. That'll be the next thing we do, because now our higher tier building here, being the level 4 pleb house, now actually does need bread. So patricians get the requirement for bread earlier, and the requirement for melons and cabbages, but these get them a bit later. I tend to satisfy the needs of my plebs first, because they're your workforce, and you can worry about your patricians later on. But I guess it just depends on the mission or what you're trying to do. If you're trading more, you need more money in, that kind of thing. But that's something to think about too. So we've hit up to Prestige 4 now. Okay, so we can't proceed any further than this, but you can see there's so much in here. All of the military-related buildings are now you can now build with. We now have some colonnades. A portico gate colonnade was actually quite pretty, very nice to use. You've got some fountains, training buildings, infantry training, archer training, centurion training, explorer training. We also have barracks for our recruits, and we also have different items to provide to our plebs. In terms of services, we've got schools for the plebs, we have a theatre for our patricians. Haven't got to the point where I need to start making fish, or whoever uses fish. I presume it's going to be your patricians, but you also have a weaver for clothing and so on and so forth. But this is the max. But when you hit Prestige 4, everything kind of upgrades and looks more prestigious. So you remember before, these used to be like thatch roofs huts, but now they've got brickwork on top of them. Oh, that's another thing. Of course, when you zoom in close enough, you can look inside the buildings. Oh god, there's a guy who's gone to the latrines. Food is being deployed. You've got various beds and houses, but unfortunately you can't see the higher levels of a building. You can only see the ground levels. And then you see the patrician houses look much nicer. No toilets in there. And then where's our... Yeah, you can see in here, this is our market. I'm just trying to see. Yeah, it's got a lot of grain related items in here, bread, which we don't have, so that's fine. We got a fire on our hands, which isn't great. We also got people leaving because I'm not employing them, which is not good. But we all need to think about bread next, and I'm thinking our bread area actually needs to be over where our grain is, and I can face these down, and I'll build another granary over... How far out can I go? Just to here. So our granary will go there. It'll go here. I'm also going to say do not provide bread to the patricians, because I want a bigger workforce first. So provide the bread to our plebs first. So I'll go here, and there's quite a few buildings where you can actually play around with and turn on and off what you want to provide them. So you can have some absolute control over, when they level up, when you don't want them to level up, that kind of thing. So over here, I am going to say this is purely for bread, and I'm going to build ourselves 2 bakeries. And I can only build 1 because I'm out of stone. And I'm actually going to go ahead and just employ 1 more worker here, 1 more worker here, and get a bit more stone on the go. It's fine. Get that up and running. We'll almost have 1 full bakery, but all of these farms here for grain are going to be very important as we try to scale up our city. So this is what we've got so far. Oh, I've just noticed that the shadows aren't in keeping with where the position of the sun is. As you rotate your game, the shadows move, which is a bit weird. It'd be cool if it was like a fixed position sun and the shadows didn't move as you rotated. They always seem to be going towards like a certain direction. A little bit strange, but anyway. Okay, so these guys need bread. They all need bread. We're not going to give it to them, but they will need bath. They will need a bath or baths, which I'm going to place over here, I think, behind this patrician house. Can I actually build the baths yet? Yes, I can. That's actually perfect just there. There we are. So these guys have now got baths right next to the tax office. So you can walk past it on your way to have a little clean and discover... Ooh, this is not good. I've just noticed how poorly maintained all of these buildings are. You can see they start looking worse for wear on the inside when they're not being repaired. So we're going to build another, recruit someone else here to sort that out. Oh, that's not good. So as soon as we have that issue, our water supply is gone. Oh my goodness, everything's breaking. That is not ideal. Our granary's down. Oh my goodness. I'm gonna have to employ... This has not happened before in terms of everything just crumbling. I wonder, are they even working? Right. Let's get these up and running again. Just gotta get 3 people in there. We need a granary ASAP. Why are these all crumbling? They are all going. Let's get these employed. Our grain has gone because that broke, which is not ideal. It's probably because I've got too many buildings that are not in use. So I'm actually going to do this. Whatever's not in use, don't have them up because it's too much for our guys to cope with. And I'll fill them in later. But this should be fine. No, 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 no. Disable just this. Thank you. Okay, that may have saved us just a bit, and I think these are just carrots. Yeah, I overstretched them, so you can build out your areas, just be... Oh, that's not carrots, that's wheat. So, like, plan out your areas, but don't place all your buildings in, because you would need a lot more people in your engineering post to cope with the amount of buildings. I only had 1 person in with the amount of buildings in here, and I've got 4 just for safekeeping. It's a little bit scary with the amount of stuff that was happening there. I will need to think about improving the desirability of this area here. I'm just thinking maybe some fountains in between these. So that just takes that. I'm going to go for a round one there and 1 there. And that might just push them over. Yeah, we're going to get a load more people. So that's gone up to level 4 out of 6. This now needs eggs and milk, which we're not going to do just quite yet, but we are going to fill these up. So we have onion, cabbage, and 1 more onion. Fine. That's a little bit better. We're actually going to employ 1 more person in each of our markets just to make sure all the food is going to the right people. Make that 2 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We can cope with... Oh no, that's 6. So we've got 4 people there. That should be fine. Probably need to think about maintenance a bit more. So we'll get the engineering post, just having 1 more person in each of those. Right, so now this is somewhat stable. Let's just have a look what else they need. It's cabbage again. They want more... So, oh, yes, they go. So this is another thing. As these things level up, they will also want the same things that the Patricians have. So at level 6, they start wanting cabbage. And because they want cabbage, that means... Well, we're actually producing hardly any cabbages. So we need... There we are. That should cope with that issue. Yeah, perfect. So it's almost a fully manned granary, and we should be producing enough. Yeah, fine. We're just a little bit low on the bread side, so I will need to build another. Just gonna move this across 1. something else just built up there. What do these guys also want? They just want some more desirability, and these guys want medicine. So that's another thing that we can think about. Okay, good. So these are leveling up really nicely. Over here, however, it's just the desirability, which is a pain. And I think I know how I'm going to cope with that. We're just going to go ahead and build ourselves a Monopaterus. Whatever the hell that is. Like that. That should just boost it ever so slightly for these guys. Yeah, good. And we're making 1,060, 1,005 a day. Right. Oh, sorry. Coughing there. Apologies. I'll cut that out. Right, the next bit I want to basically show off to you guys is the regional map. And this is pretty cool, okay? So this is where, within a mission, you've got various areas that you can go and explore. And then from here, you can also, this is where you do your battles or engage with other armies. So we're going to go over to this symbol here, and as soon as my explorer is in this area, there is a status bar saying how quickly he is exploring that area, and that will become visible. So they're currently in a fog of war at the moment. And here's our lovely little city over here. You do have trade routes, and you can say how much you want to sell above a certain limit, and that will contribute to your money, and then what you can spend your money on in terms of buying items as well. But that's all dependent on what cities are available in the zone, and then you can choose to buy from them. Okay, so going back to our city, there's a lot going on. A building's collapsed, another one is collapsed, which is not great. So I'm going to go ahead and build another granary for cabbages and onions. Fully occupy that. I might have to build another engineer's post just to keep this all hunky-dory, because it's really not hunky-dory over here. And also I need some fire workers as well. But that's fine. I think these guys, if I click on this, you'll see who's going to run over. Yep, that's the guy with the water. He throws one bucket of water on. He runs back. He picks up his water. And he runs all the way around. That's 2. I wonder how many it is. Is it 2, 3? Okay. Let's get 2 more workers in here. So we just... Okay, so that was quite a few. And it's getting repaired by the look of it, or it will do. The colour of it's gone back to normal. I think we're okay. Fine. Now let's go back to the regional map. Let's go back to where we saw... So we found Vitona. We can sell, I don't know, let's just say 50 units per day. And then we want to order... Let's just go for 75 in one go. And then we'll send that to Rome afterwards. So here's the trader coming in. I wonder what it looks like on here. Will we actually see them come along and trade with us? That's the question. That doesn't look particularly good. That looks like it's about to break as well. So I need to build very quickly another engineering post, because we haven't actually covered this. As soon as we built that, immediately started looking much better, like instantaneously. So apparently I got my 75, 55 marble, or some of it, but there was no physical animation along this road to show you where, you know, to signify that you received it. So we'll just wait one more day and we'll get, there we go, 75. Right, let's send that to Rome. So I'm going to end the episode there. That was just to show you, like, building up a relatively small settlement in this game for Rome. Mission accomplished. You have completed all objectives of the mission. Rome awaits you. Go to the Capitoline Hill to start the victory lap, followed by your best men, and celebrate this success. And then the actual demo just takes you directly to the next mission. Again, not going to show this off in this episode. Will do in a subsequent one, but this was mainly just to really highlight and show off what you can do in the game, and it's really cool. But this is the next mission. You've got to do 60 plebs, 20 patricians, and send 150 cheese to Rome, which is curious because you can't actually make cheese, so you must have to trade for it. And there's a lot more to actually go out and see around here. So this is what I'll show up in the next episode, just for the demo's sake. But really good game, thoroughly enjoying it. And there's a lot to do. And I'm very excited for the full release. God, there's a huge unfertile area here. This could be for a city. Really inviting you to build a city on there, that's for sure. I'm mumbling on too much now. What I'm going to do is end the episode there. But while we do that, I'm just going to show you what you can actually do with the actual camera modes that you have in this. That was F7. When you actually get into game, you can actually enjoy and have a look at the world, the ambient sound, and how pretty this game is. Actually very, very, very impressed with the developers and what they put together so far. They just got to get the simulation balanced out a bit better, because it does crash every now and again, and then your whole city crumbles to nothing. But this is MarZhill Magnus. Hope you've enjoyed this video content so far for Citadelum. Be sure to like and subscribe and join the Legion of Mars today. This is MarZhill Magnus signing up for now. Ciao.